Aoyama has always been a vibrant district, full of new energy. Nestled in one corner of this area is a campus embraced by lush greenery. Aoyama Gakuin traces its origins to 3 schools founded by missionaries from the Methodist Episcopal Church in the United States. Through many transformations and under God's protection and guidance, it has grown into a comprehensive educational institution spanning from kindergarten to graduate schools with over 23,000 students. Japan embarked on a new era during the Meiji Restoration. However, Christianity remained prohibited. It was not until 1873 that Christianity was permitted. In the same year, 5 missionaries of the Methodist Episcopal Church, the largest denomination in the United States, arrived in Japan. Based in Yokohama, they began spreading the gospel throughout Japan. The following year, in October 1874, a young woman of the same Methodist Episcopal Church arrived in Yokohama. Dora Schoonmaker was 23 years old at that time. Within 3 weeks of her arrival, she opened a small school with just 7 students. The school was named Girls Elementary School, and the day of its opening is now celebrated as the foundation day of Aoyama Gakuin. She was assisted by Sen Tsuda, a friend of Julius Soper and the father of Umeko Tsuda, who was Japan's first female student who studied abroad. The school had to relocate many times in a short period of time before finally settling in a corner of a temple in Mita, where Schoonmaker finally fulfilled her long-held dream of establishing a boarding school. However, the students had to sleep in a corridor in the temple, and Schoonmaker's own room was a small section partitioned off by curtains. The school was located in what is now Mita 4-chome, Minato Ward, Tokyo. Two years later, a new school building was constructed in the foreign settlement of Tsukiji, and the school was renamed Kaigan Girls' School. From this time, young women eager to learn were drawn to the school by its growing reputation. The missionaries who had arrived earlier also opened schools for boys. Soper opened Kokyo Gakusha as Boys' School in Tsukiji, which was later renamed the Tokyo English School. Robert Maclay led the establishment of the Methodist Mission Seminary in Yokohama. Eventually, these 3 schools would merge to form what is now Aoyama Gakuin. In 1882, an American pastor, John Goucher, offered to donate $5,000 to open a university of the Methodist Episcopal Church in Tokyo. This prompted the merging of the 2 boys' schools, and 99,000 square meters of land was purchased in Aoyama to establish a new school. This became the current Aoyama campus. In the Edo period, it was the site of the upper residence of the Matsudaira family of the Iyo Saijo domain. In the Meiji period, it was the site of an experimental farm for agricultural technology of the Hokkaido Development Commission growing rare plants from overseas. Missionaries reported the joy of acquiring this land. The new school was named the Tokyo Anglo-Japanese College. Initially, the vast premises only had a building that served as both a dormitory and classrooms, but within a few years, a magnificent school building was completed. Kaigan Girls' School, opened by Schoonmaker, expanded its curriculum as more and more female missionaries arrived from the U.S. Then a kindergarten also came to be established at the end of the 19th century. As the number of female students increased, the senior students were moved to the Tokyo Anglo-Japanese College's premises. This is the establishment of the Tokyo Anglo-Japanese Girls' School. The formation of a vocational division enabled women to learn the skills necessary to live independently, leading to produce many leaders. The rapid transformation of Japan into a nation-state centered on the emperor led to the rise of nationalism and generated reaction to excessive westernization. In 1890, the Imperial Rescript of Education sparked extensive debates on education based on Christian faith. Amid this social climate, the Tokyo Anglo-Japanese College was renamed Aoyama Gakuin, while the Tokyo Anglo-Japanese Girls' School was merged with Kaigan Girls' School into Aoyama Jogakuin. In 1899, the Ministry of Education banned religious education in all accredited schools. Chancellor Yoitsu Honda of Aoyama Gakuin, with representatives from Meiji Gakuin and other Christian schools, repeatedly protested, but it was unsuccessful. Because Aoyama Gakuin chose to continue its education based on Christian faith, its graduates were unable to advance to higher education. This prompted many students to move to other schools. Those who remained were deeply committed to upholding the school's founding spirit and actively engaged in missionary work. The lost privileges were restored quickly. Conscription exemptions were granted in 1901. And by 1903, new school regulations allowed graduates of Christian junior high schools to take entrance exams of senior high schools. The following year, the College and Theological School of Aoyama Gakuin and the English Literature course of Aoyama Jogakuin were legally recognized as vocational schools. The Russo-Japanese War ended in Japan's victory, and from the end of the Meiji period to the early Taisho period, a sense of optimism spread in Japan. Aoyama Gakuin began expanding and improving its facilities and programs. The school emblem was also designed at the beginning of the 20th century. John Goucher, who continuously supported Aoyama Gakuin since its establishment, visited Japan many times. This is a photo of Goucher's address held at Kodokan in 1915. More than 700 students were enrolled at the school at the time. The college and the Boys' Academy of Aoyama Gakuin continued expanding with the aim of opening a university. On September 1, 1923, a massive earthquake struck the Kanto region, causing extensive damage in Tokyo. Most of the buildings at Aoyama Gakuin collapsed. School staff and students worked in solidarity, immediately forming the Aoyama Gakuin Earthquake Relief Team. Students of Aoyama Gakuin sewed and distributed clothes for several hundred victims. School buildings with little damage were lent to St. Luke's Hospital to treat the injured. Orphans and lost children were also taken in. Korean people who suffered a dangerous situation due to the spread of false rumors were sheltered in a dormitory, and students took turns guarding the building around the clock. Classes were held in tents and temporary shelters. On September 27, Chancellor Masanobu Ishizaka and Chancellor Alberta Sproles of Aoyama Gakuin made a visit to the U.S. to call attention to the extent of damage. This resulted in fundraising efforts by Methodist churches across the country. Reconstruction began the following year. Otohiko Majima, a graduate of the Tokyo Anglo-Japanese College, had long wished for a library to be built at Aoyama Gakuin. He was ill but promised to support its construction before passing away. In honor of Majima's will, his wife Aiko and his friends donated money to help complete the Central Library in 1929. It was named the Majima Memorial Hall in honor of Mr. and Mrs. Majima. As the last part of reconstruction plans, the theological school building was finally completed in 1931. This building is now used for the School Corporation Administration. The reconstruction effort following the earthquake was supported by many people within and outside Aoyama Gakuin. Some of the buildings constructed during this period remain and are being used to this day. This reconstruction effort promoted the union of Aoyama Gakuin and Aoyama Gakuin. Entering the Showa period, Japan rapidly moved toward militarism. During this time, Chancellor Yoshimune Abe advocated the importance of integrated education based on Christian faith, particularly in elementary education. Alumni Umekichi and Haruko Yoneyama responded to this by investing their personal fortune into establishing the Midorigaoka Elementary School and Midorigaoka Kindergarten. Umekichi Yoneyama had only briefly been enrolled at the Tokyo Anglo-Japanese College, but he regarded Yoitsu Honda as his lifelong mentor, dedicating himself to education and charity. In 1941, the Methodist Church in the U.S. ordered the repatriation of all missionaries. Missionaries who had spent more than half a century teaching students left Aoyama Gakuin, the place they had been accustomed to. Then, war broke out in December of that year. Aoyama Gakuin's close ties to the U.S. brought about great difficulty when simply being a Christian school led to doubts about its patriotism. The purpose of education itself was changed to align with the country's slogan of building the greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere. Military drills were also bolstered by the attached military officers. In 1943, conscription exemptions for students were lifted, and Aoyama Gakuin students, too, were sent to the battlefields. Students of the Women's College, Girls' High School, and Boys' Academy were sent to work in factories and farmlands, while the children of Midorigaoka Elementary School were separated from their parents and sent to the countryside to escape air raids. The war ended, and Aoyama Gakuin rose from the ashes of the campus to start afresh with renewed strength. The introduction of co-education marked the dawn of a new era for students. The university opened in 1949. The opening of a university had long been the dream of Aoyama Gakuin since moving to the Aoyama campus. From that year, all members of Aoyama Gakuin celebrate its revival. Precious footage from that time captures the inauguration ceremony. Junshiro Mandai, who served as the chairman and financial director, devoted himself wholeheartedly to Aoyama Gakuin during the challenging period of post-war reconstruction. Mandai struggled financially in his youth, but later rose to become the president of a bank and donated to establish a scholarship fund. It has allowed many students to study at Aoyama Gakuin even to this day. Japan made a remarkable economic recovery after the war. The Tokyo Olympics, held in 1964, prompted the expansion of Aoyama Avenue. Aoyama underwent a dramatic transformation. In the same year, Aoyama Gakuin celebrated its 90th anniversary and laid down the educational policy of Aoyama Gakuin to codify its founding spirit. Aoyama Gakuin Kindergarten, founded in 1961, has provided childcare in modern facilities such as wide corridors and underfloor heating from the onset. This new building was completed in 2024, establishing an educational environment for the new era. Midorigaoka Elementary School was succeeded by the Aoyama Gakuin Elementary School after the war. It implemented new initiatives ahead of other schools, such as introduction of a 5-day school week and the abolition of report cards and student backpacks. A 4-class system was introduced with the completion of its new school building in 2007. The junior and senior high schools were integrated to form a 6-year system in June 1986. Subject-centered educational system was introduced with the completion of the 3rd junior high school building, realizing in-depth subject-specific education. Moreover, a long-cherished chapel was built, offering a place of solace for students. A new high school building was completed in 2014. All classes of the same grade were placed on the same floor to prioritize homeroom and grade differentiated supervision. At the center of the building is a courtyard featuring a vast wooden deck as a place of relaxation for students. Since the Women's Junior College was opened in 1950, it has focused on higher education for women based on Christian faith. But after its last students graduated in March 2022, the Women's Junior College ended its 72-year-long history. Today, Aoyama Gakuin continues the legacy of the Women's Junior College. In 1965, the College of Science and Engineering was added to the Colleges of Literature, Economics, and Law at Aoyama Gakuin University. This was followed by the addition of many other faculties, graduate schools, and professional graduate programs as it grew into a comprehensive university. The university's educational and research capabilities were further bolstered with the opening of the Sagamihara campus in 2003. Aoyama Gakuin celebrated its 150th anniversary in 2024. The Maclay Memorial Hall, with a library and an information media center, was opened in April 2024 as the 150th Anniversary Commemorative Project.
A
grand commemorative ceremony was held on November 16, 2024. In May 2025, the Aoyama Gakuin Museum was opened within Majima Memorial Hall as part of the commemorative projects. Over 150 years has passed since the girls' elementary school was opened in 1874, and young people of all generations from kindergarten to graduate schools are now studying at Aoyama Gakuin. Aoyama Gakuin's identity as a comprehensive educational institution was shaped by all those who studied and taught there through the ages. This spirit lives on and continues to inspire young people as before.